Last week tonight with John Oliver. Probably the best way to get your news without actually thinking we're living in hell. Unless you know how to use Twitter, in which case you can catch up on all of the catastrophes happening around the world, but it's followed up by a funny dog meme or Chrissy Teigen tweet. But seriously, Chrissy Teigen, we love you, and we as a nation must protect her at all costs. Now, last week tonight's show with John Oliver, his goal is to touch on news, politics, and any current events happening around the world. Well, last week he did a piece titled Rehab, and he talked about some of the bad things, admittedly, that are going on in the industry, like falsifying success rates, low barriers needed to enter and open a treatment center, and he also talked about Richard Taiti being a douchebag wearing a button down. Only problem with news segments like this is that they generalize and they make blanket statements about an entire industry, which, as we all know in today's day and age, with all the diversity and all the things going on, is an impossible thing to do. Now, unless you're talking about white people being able to dance, in which case they still can't do that. And no, Sarah, your cousin Ron doing the worm, it looks like he's having a seizure. Stop it. But really, you can look at any industry and find crooked things that are going on, right? That doesn't make it okay. But we here at Coastal Detox, we wanted to touch on a few things that are going right down here in South Florida treatment. John, not to sound like a crazy ex-boyfriend, but a lot's changed. What's changed? Well, we've implemented things like the task force, which is a joint operation between state and local legislation cooperating in tandem to shut down the bad players and keep the bad players from reopening under other names. Now, where do they get this information from? They get it from the premier treatment centers that are leading all of this change. Places like Foundations, Banyan Treatment Centers, Acadia, Hazleton, Ambrosia. That's just a short list of some of the premier treatment centers down here implementing all of this change. There are things like the Coalition, which are all these treatment centers getting together, working in tandem in order to make sure that none of this is happening. Teamwork that we haven't seen since Tom Brady and the referees in the Super Bowl. Other states have reached out to us. 26 other programs in other states nationwide have reached out to Florida programs because they think that we are premier treatment center leaders, that our regulations and the things we've implemented are exactly what they want moving forward in their local towns. John, I want to get serious for a minute, because what we're talking about is an epidemic that the country has never seen before. Something that we're dealing with on a daily basis. And John, it's terrifying. We're not being helped by the hospitals. We're not being helped by the governments. And it sure as heck isn't helping us when news media outlets are highlighting things that are years old that we've already implemented change to fix. When I and others in the industry go and talk to people about what we do, answering calls at 3 a.m., picking up people from homeless shelters, off the streets, from crack houses, from these terrible places, and I tell people what I do, I'm looked at as a thief and I'm looked at as a scumbag because of the stuff that the news media highlighted. And not to say that it's bad, because we needed that stuff to come out. But I want you to know, we've all changed. This industry is completely different than what it used to be, without the help of the governments and hospitals. But John, you being the astute professional you are, I'm sure you've got some ideas about how you can help fix and change some of the stuff going on. So below's my email. Please reach out to me, not with problems, not with things that have happened, but with solutions for things, with ways to fix this problem and maybe provide a little bit of help. Try me, John. Try me.